Having multiple signatures on an engagement letter protects your firm from risk, but it also protects your client from themselves as well. So what normally happens with a client engagement is, let's say you're acting for a company and they've got 2 directors and a 3rd shareholder. What would normally happen is that Director A would sign the engagement letter to authorize you to give them advice and to take instruction from them. And that situation is fine until it's not. Because let's say, for example, those people fell out with each other. All of a sudden now, Director B wants to know why you've been taking instruction from Director A and why you've been doing the things that you've been doing. What's a far more secure position for you to be in and for the client to be in as well is if Director A authorized the engagement letter and you established them as the nominated person, and then Director B was to authorize you to take instruction from Director A and to be able to give them advice as well. But then for all 3 parties to sign your privacy notice from a GDPR point of view, because the company can't sign the privacy notice on their behalf. That has to be done at an individual level. So having that full set of signatures is a far more secure position for you to be in to protect your firm, but also to protect the client. Because through our research of this, we was working with Valerie Stewart, who's one of the UK's leading compliance experts with over 30 years of experience. And she shared with us all manner of stories. And one specific story was of a man and wife who had a business. The accountant was acting for them and everything was fine until they went through a divorce. And then all of a sudden the wife wanted to know why the accountant had acted in certain ways, why they'd taken instruction from her husband, because she'd never given permission. There was no signature from her. So she made a complaint to the professional body, who rejected it. She attempted to sue the accountancy firm and that was rejected as well. She could argue, well, what's the point of doing all of this? Why do we need to get all of the signatures on this? And that was the question I asked Val. Why was this even a problem? And what she said was,
the issue of why it was a problem was because of the amount of time that it took the accountant to actually deal with it. He had somewhere in the region of 250 hours worth of time that had been spent trying to deal with it. That could have been dealt with so much easier if they'd just had that little bit that said that she gave him authority to just communicate with the one person, and that assumed that she'd have known what was going on. That would have been fine.
So what we wanted to do is to protect everyone using GoProposal from this time bomb. And when I say time bomb, I mean if this thing goes off, it is going to take your time. So what you'll now be able to do as you're producing a proposal and an engagement letter is select the primary contact to be the nominated person, but then also to add additional signatories who may need to authorize that engagement and sign the privacy notice as well, or just the privacy notice if you don't need them to authorize the engagement. Then each party will be sent an email and directed back to the acceptance page. You'll be able to see exactly who you've got the signature from and whose signatures are still outstanding, which you can request. Then once you've got the full set of signatures, the final engagement letter will be produced and sent to the relevant parties as well as to you. This would have once been an arduous task to complete in your firm, which is why it often gets overlooked, or you've been convinced that this is overkill and other firms don't do it. To my mind, we want to be able to help you to achieve the very highest levels of compliance, to help you to sleep at night by removing the risks to your firm and to your clients as well, and to completely disarm this time bomb once and for all, so you can focus on delivering the highest levels of service to your clients. Multiple signatures in GoProposal, done.